Welcome to the Victorian era, a time of high fashion, industrial revolution, and really, really weird hobbies. Specifically, let's talk about their obsession with photography. But not the kind where you say cheese. Imagine your grandpa dies. Sad, right? But instead of a funeral, you call a photographer. This is post-mortem photography. Literally, photos with the dead. It was the ultimate trend of the 19th century. Now, before you judge them, remember they didn't have iPhones. This was often the only image they'd ever have of a loved one. But here is where it gets tricky. Taking a photo back then wasn't instant. It took forever. And dead bodies, well, they tend to look dead. Gravity is not their friend. So photographers became part artists, part morticians, and part engineers. Enter the Brady stand. A metal contraption designed to prop up the deceased like a sophisticated action figure. They clamp the head, the waist, and the legs. Voila! Grandpa is standing again. Look at this gentleman. He looks very posture conscious. That's because there is a cold iron rod down his spine. Sometimes, the stand base is visible behind the feet. They tried to hide it with curtains, but we see you. But standing up wasn't enough. The eyes were closed, and closed eyes mean dead to the marketing department. So what did they do? They painted open eyes directly onto the closed eyelids. Genius or nightmare fuel? Look closely. The stare is a bit intense, like he's seen into the void and wasn't impressed. If painting wasn't an option, they just pried the eyes open. Nothing says natural like dry, unblinking eyes. Sometimes the pupils were pricked with a pin to dilate them. Victorian optometry was wild. Now, let's talk about the living relatives in the photo. They had the hardest job. Exposure times were long. You had to sit perfectly still for minutes next to your deceased uncle. If you moved, you blurred. If the corpse moved, well, run. Ironically, the dead were the perfect models. They never blinked, never twitched, and never complained. This created photos where the dead look sharp and crisp, while the living look like ghostly apparitions. Look at this child. He looks so peaceful. His parents look like they are vibrating with anxiety. Sometimes they used props to distract you. A book, a flower, or a favorite toy. Just look at the dolly, don't look at the fact that sister isn't breathing. They even posed them in daily scenarios. Sleeping on a sofa, sitting at a desk. It was a desperate attempt to deny death. To pretend for 1 second that everything was normal. But to us modern viewers, it's just pure nightmare fuel disguised as a family portrait. There's a rumor that some photos show the soul leaving the body. It was usually just a chemical glitch. Or maybe the photographer sneezed. Yet, despite the creepiness, there is love here. Expensive, weird, chemically hazardous love. Parents spent a fortune just to remember their child's face. Even if that face was painted on. It reminds us that grief makes people do strange things. Like inventing the selfie stick for corpses. So next time you think your family photo shoot is painful, be grateful. At least you don't need a metal rod up your spine to look good. Usually, if this sophisticated dose of morbid history made you smile, hit subscribe. Or I'll send a Victorian photographer to your house. Good night.